All right, maybe some of you guys saw my teaser video of a coming soon for Beyond the Blueprint. Let the journey begin. I'm super excited for today. Today, episode 1, series 1, we are going to be interviewing Rick Bohrer, a Bohrer General Contractors. He is the man with the vision. He's the man with the idea. He is the one who puts all of this whole project together. And we're interviewing him today to show how 57 Inverness Drive in Bluffton, South Carolina is different than almost any build you'll find. Not only that, this property is for sale in Colleton River. Colleton River is one of Bluffton's most premier golfing communities, if not all of the Lowcountry of South Carolina. It has top tier golf courses, pickleball, tennis. It is the best luxury spa. Some of the best restaurants you'll eat in all of Bluffton are right here in Colleton River. So join along, super excited for this. I hope you are too. Again, we are going to be taking you step by step through the whole build process of 57 Inverness Drive. I couldn't be more excited to be welcomed on our first episode with the great Rick Bohrer. He's the general contractor, owner of Bohrer Construction, general contractors, excuse me. He's done a lot of great builds in the community, around the area. He's been here for years. Rick, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
Absolutely. So Rick, tell us, the first question I got to ask you, what about this house kind of stands out? What is it that you say, this is going to be a great home for somebody someday? Why here? Why this model?
Well, we've done this house once before in a slightly different format that the owners, when we got done, they were in basically awe of what got done inside. And we got such great response, and not just from them, we got great response from the ARB and the people that they brought in to review the house. Everybody really, really liked it a lot, had a lot of good input on it. So we said, what the heck,
I love it.
Do it again and give somebody else the opportunity to live in a house like that.
And, I know Rick knows this as well as I do, but the people of Colleton River, it's such a cool community. A lot of people know each other. They get into these new houses. They're poking around this job site, I'm sure, all the time. They can't wait to see what's coming. Mm-hmm. And that's something that we're going to expose in this series that I'm so excited about. Well, without further ado, let's go inside, check it out. All right, cool. All right, so we're inside now. Rick, obviously, we come inside. You see studs, you see windows, you start to see the whole project coming together, right? From the vision and from the beginning, whether it was this house or the previous one you did, when you saw these plans and when you started getting the vision, what was the first thing like you want your home buyer to think when they walk into the final product?
Well, before we ever start a job, we always I always envision and basically build a house in my mind before we even start a lick at a stick. But when people come in, I want them to have a feeling of awe, basically. I want them to envision and see what we've produced here. High volume ceilings, really nice trim details, all the things that make people say, yeah, that's what I want. And when they come through the door for the first time, when they see the finishes and stuff, usually if I get the ooh or awe, then I know I've done my job. That's
so cool. So let me follow up with that. Like, I love what you just said. I have this vision in my mind. I know what the house is going to look like. You're an artist in that sense, but obviously you have to get that on paper. Do you then take that idea and just literally sit down with an architect, whoever you're using, and say, this is my vision, and just keep tweaking it to the vision? Or what's kind of that process like?
You tweak it to an extent, but invariably what happens is, even though architects, they can be the best architect in the world, but it's always an artist vision or rendering. We still have to make it happen. In other words, they can draw a pretty picture on paper, but I got to make it real.
Yeah.
So some of these things that come into play when we look at these plans, we have to make adjustments along the way.
Yeah.
And that's where, the 40 years of expertise that we've had allows us to make these adjustments on the go. A lot of the stuff that can be changed on the back of the napkin, but the architect basically does the the basic format, and then we take it from there.
Then you take it from there. Gotcha. And I'm sure that, depending on where, I know you and I have talked about this, is, a lot of people have been talking to me about this property, and they're like, well, can we change this, or can we change that? And I love your answer. And it's like, yes, it's a custom home, provided we can get in front of it, right? Like, you don't want to hold up, one thing that Rick is notorious for is keeping his building schedule. Like, I've seen it. It is meticulous. It is, the people are here. I come to buy this project almost every day, and I see workers here, and you can just see it already, constantly going. So, wouldn't you agree with me? Like, you can change it. Just depends. Nobody wants to hold you up. Right. We don't want to hold up the schedule, but if they want to maybe change a plumbing or electric fixture, we could have that conversation.
Right. If they get in early enough, say a buyer comes in early enough, we can give them allowances, and they can make some changes if they come in early enough. For example, if they want to change the tile, they want to change cabinets and stuff like that, if they get in early enough, they can do that. But if they come in later down the line of the time of construction, some of this stuff has to get ordered. Like cabinets have to be ordered, tiles got to be picked out, those things. So we have to make those decisions in my time frame. The schedule that we write out is basically the Bible of the job. Everything has to fit the schedule. The subcontractors that I use, they've been working with me, some for as long as 20 years.
Okay.
And they understand what I want. They understand the schedule. They buy into the schedule before we even start construction. So say if I give the plumber, he's got 15 days to do what he's got to do, he's got 15 days. So they get it done in that time frame. That's one of the reasons why we get jobs done in a timely fashion. Most of our jobs last between 10 and 12 months.
Wow, for this size house.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
And we get people ask us all the time, how are you going to get it done that quick? Well, we do it all the time.
Well, I'm sure that having those 20-year relationships with vendors, they know, hey, this is what Rick wants. Mm-hmm. I don't want to let them down, because that relationship with your vendor is probably just as important. Their relationship with you, I'm sure you take precedent. They also know the level, of your framers. We want everything plumb and looking right and proper 90-degree angles. Right. I'm sure you want your trim package, all the millwork, perfect, right? And they know your level of what you're looking for. That's so cool. I've never really thought of that, but I'm sure instead of getting a new roofer, for every different job, I'm sure you have it all scheduled out, right? And have them set lined up.
Same crews together. Because like I said, they learn what I want, and if I have to get a new subcontractor in, it creates a whole learning curve that actually delays the project.
Man.
So we try to keep the same group, and the same group, they've worked with each other on multiple jobs, so they can actually work together to make things come, done.
They all know each other over 20 years, right? Well, let's get going, but what I want to do is I want to start upstairs on that awesome outdoor balcony and kind of get an idea. So let's go up to the outdoor balcony. Yeah, I saw it. I looked them up.
Yeah, so
kind of cool.
A lift there would be perfect.
Okay, sorry. All right, so Rick, when we were walking up the stairs coming up here, it's kind of funny, the timing and everything. You told me a funny story. You said, well, it's funny that we're starting at the upstairs deck. So go ahead. What'd you tell me?
Well, we were talking originally about the architects and how plans do I build them directly like the plans show and stuff like that. Well, this is one of those instances where the architect couldn't envision the roof detail along with this balcony. And the way he had it built originally was a lot smaller. The roof actually came out too far to where we couldn't put drainage in this balcony at all. So after looking at it, we said, well, we're going to extend it out to where the roof gets down to where it's supposed to be. We're going to be able to drain correctly. And then we got this beautiful, big, spacious balcony now that adds to the value of the house. And look at the view back here.
I'm telling you, and that's the other thing we were just saying. It's like, as a custom builder, I'm sure when you're building something of this magnitude, you don't want to just put it in the middle of nowhere. We're on Inverness in Colleton River, where it's a very popular street, beautiful homes here. But you have a lagoon, you're close to golf, you're close to all the clubhouses and everything else. It's a great location, but clearly when you were in that visionary stage, you were thinking, this lot looks pretty cool, right?
Right. Elevation was great. It's got plenty of elevation over the street. The finished floor elevation here is at 22 feet, which is way above even a Class 3 hurricane wouldn't.
Right. 2 of the day, but we get through it.
Yeah.
So those of you here, I'm looking at you, and I just want your input on something. Can you come around the corner here? Alex, talk to me about Marvin for a second. Why Marvin?
Well, one of the reasons is I think Marvin's one of the better made windows in the country.
Okay.
And they do a great job with their impact glass. All these windows are hurricane rated. They all withstand 140-mile-an-hour winds.
Dang.
So the manner in which they install the glass and the grids for the simulated divided light and stuff, it's just top notch. And Marvin's just got a great reputation.
Sure.
Goes with the quality of the window.
Well, and I also notice it's not your traditional white window, right? They're black, and I know black windows are, believe it or not, for whatever reason, maybe you could tell me, are much more expensive than others, but they look awesome. Once a finished product, oh my God, there's a black window pop.
They're more expensive, but to me, they're worth it for this type of house.
Yeah.
It requires a window like that.
Sure, and you don't want to have to worry about, again, yes, we still have hurricanes, we still have weather. For those of you, again, who aren't really familiar with hurricanes, yeah, there's hurricanes here every once in a while, and our codes require some type of hurricane protection. So a lot of times when you're buying a resale, the question is what kind of storm protection you have. Sometimes it's something as basic as a piece of plywood that you put up on top of those windows to protect branches from coming through. It could be sheets of metal, it could be Kevlar, but the absolute best is going to be hurricane impact glass. Can you imagine 2 days before a hurricane's coming through and getting big sheets of plywood and having your son help you put on every single one? Like, that's not going to happen here. So there's a part of, God forbid you ever have to evacuate, you have to get out of here, you're locking your house and you're leaving and you feel very comfortable. A branch isn't going to come through a window and do some major damage.
Right.
And you might know this, but that's got to impact insurance rates and things like that as well. Your insurance company must love that.
You get a better insurance rate with this.
Yeah.
You get a better insurance rate with the Hardy plank that we use on the exterior of this particular house.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that the elevation is high, they've got what they call this freeboard. So you get a better insurance rate for that too.
Well, there you go.
So your insurance rates on this house will be appreciably lower than
damage or something.
Yeah.
This is
So
actually, you put the money up front, right? Like at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about. Like, this place is better built than most homes.
Well, this house meets all the criteria for this area for 140-mile-an-hour wind loads. It meets the uplift requirements. There's enough steel and hold outs in here that you can pick the house up with a magnet. I mean, it's just crazy how much steel they put in these things. That's a requirement by the codes. But this house, as opposed to a house that's been here like for 10 years, there's no comparison between what goes into them.
Yeah, and that's just, the shell, and then everything else that we're going to be talking about throughout this series, talking about the appliances, talking about the lighting fixtures. I promise you, they don't spare any expense of beautiful, tasteful stuff that's going to be going to this house. So let's go back inside and check out a couple other things inside. So great question. Obviously we're in the framing stage. A lot of times a homeowner, they walk in, it's all, everything's done, it's beautiful. They really don't know what's inside the walls. What's something that you want your clients to know that might stand out different than, again, we've talked about structure a little bit. We're previewing some appliances and some high-end fixtures, but like, what's behind the walls that's like, this stands out?
Right, there's two things that we do that I don't think that a lot of other builders do, but we definitely do it. One is for the termite control. You have your standard treatment under the slab where they treat for subterraneans, but we take it a step further. All these walls and all these studs get sprayed down before we sheetrock, before we insulate for formosans. So when you get a termite bond on this house, you get a termite bond for the subterranean and formosan.
Gotcha.
Formosan termites are the ones that are winged that fly around, and once they get in, then you don't know that they're there until it's too late.
People don't think about those ones.
No, so everything here gets treated before it gets sheetrocked. So that's one less thing you have to worry about on this house. The other thing is, a lot of people probably don't know how we do the insulation down in South Carolina, especially Hilton Head. We foam everything. We foam the rafters, we foam the exterior walls. I mean, this thing will be nothing but foam when it's done. A couple of things that happen when that, it quiets the house down immensely. And then on top of that, you're basically living in a walk-in Yeti because it's just like a cooler. I mean, everything is insulated. All the interior walls are insulated for soundproofing. So those are things when a person comes in after or sheetrock and whatnot, they don't see any of that, and they don't even know it even exists.
Got it.
But they really notice it when the house is finished. They walk in, and they realize how quiet it is.
So, and then the other thing is, like, I go into a lot of houses, and you see a roof line, with spray foam. And for those of you who aren't really familiar, you have spray foam, which is literally guys shooting foam for your insulation, as opposed to, I'm sure you've seen the pink bat styrofoam or the blown-in insulation that's just on the ceiling. So I've gone into attics before, my own personal attic at my house. There's spray foam just in the attic, and what's cool about that is, it never really gets, what would you say, over like 85 degrees? 75? Okay, so it never gets above 75 degrees. So guys, look, you live in the Lowcountry, it's gonna get hot. In the wintertime, we have seasons, it's gonna get cold, you need insulation. We're back in what's, I'm sure, gonna be an absolutely stunning primary bathroom. It doesn't look like much now, it looks like wires, pipes, and drains, but I know when we've been talking about this is a big selling point, a big luxury item of this house. Tell us, what does this primary bathroom have that you don't see very often in bathrooms?
Okay, well, first of all, the shower and the surround that you see around the tub there, and this general area is the tub, and then this is the walk-in shower. That all gets covered in stone, not tile. So it's all the full thick stone that you would see on a countertop. And it wraps around this entire tub, wraps around it completely in the shower area itself.
I can't wait to see that.
The floor is actually like that too.
It's stone, the floor?
Stone, the floor is stone. Also, this entire floor here, the entire floor in the closets, it's all stone also, not tile. It's full thick stone, so it's 1 3/16 inches thick.
Say it one more time, Voltic stone?
No, it's full thick stone.
Oh, full thick stone, excuse me. That's the New England in me talking to the Southern man. Go ahead.
And in addition to that, we do the Schluter heated floor system. So this whole bathroom floor is heated. We'll have a thermostat here that you can control the heat on the floor. So in the winter, you want to have it 90 degrees on the floor. So you get out of the bed, you got a toasty floor, so you don't have to worry about cold feet. You got it. You got it in your closets also. It extends into the closets. So each closet has its own thermostat, and the bathroom has its own thermostat also.
Oh, very cool. So, and then, is there additional air units in here, or is that the only heat source in here for heat?
You have your standard heat source with heat pumps, but this is for the floor itself.
And this is on its own thermostat?
It's on its own controlled thermostat.
Controlled thermostat. So, so again, I've never had radiant heated floors in my house. I really wish I did, but I got to imagine it's just like a much more ambient warmth in here. Yes. Cozy, ambient, whatever word you want to use.
Right.
I think, wow, that's got to be so cool. So again, you get out of bed, come in, take a shower, get out. It's cold, January, February morning. It's warm. It's cozy, even when you walk in, right? It's got to be, it's preset. You know what you're going to walk in, you go get changed, and you're going to come out here. That's so cool. And I got a point earlier, we were up on the upper deck, and here we are on the nice big porch. And I got to tell you one thing before we get going and talking about warmth. We're in the early August, and the first thing I noticed is the cross breeze. So this is going to be nice, right? Like no fans. It has a great cross breeze here. That's awesome. Well, anyway, let's pretend it's a little bit colder. What is this, Rick?
This is a 42-inch fireplace that goes in here.
Nice.
And it's wood burning with a gas log insert, which means if you want to burn regular wood, you could, but you have the gas log set up in it also if you just want to turn the gas on. So you have options there. We put in the gas log kit. But if somebody just wanted to burn regular logs, they just take the kit out.
Sure.
This a little unique about this fireplace and about the grill area, the outdoor kitchen, is we do a tabby on this, but it's not your typical tabby that you see now, where they trowel on some concrete and then just tamp in some shells.
So hold there for 1 second. Once again, we're going to translate a little for a second. If you're not familiar with tabby, well, tabby is it's a stucco that has oyster shells and different shells. And I think one of the things that I've noticed and I've seen the other house that you did is that it's like these full shells, right? As opposed to like the crushed up stone, right?
It's a full shell, and the people that we have do it the same way it's been done over 100 years. They actually make a form and they actually put the shell in, and the actual wall is shell. It's not concrete. It's the shell with Portland mixed in with it. And they put the form in, they do all that, they put it in place, let it sit for a few days, and they take the form off. Then they clean all the shells.
No
so
kidding.
to get the exposure of the shells. So the actual wall is real oyster shell tabby. It's not just a veneer of concrete and some shells smashed against it.
Well, it's like we started this conversation talking about an artist idea. Sounds like this is like a sculpturist. Somebody's doing a sculpture is what this wall is going to look like. And again, I've seen it, and I can't wait for you guys to see it, because you don't see that in the Lowcountry. Am I right? Like usually it's just that crushed stone, like I said, simple stuff.
See this in some ruins somewhere,
yeah,
on the island or something.
Tefusky.
But you're not going to see much of it on new construction.
Oh, cool. And then you were talking about the floor out here. Talk to us a little bit about this.
It's going to be a brick floor, and it's going to be the same type of brick floor we have on the front porch.
Nice.
The steps will be brick. This floor goes down in herringbone style.
Okay.
So there will be a herringbone design going throughout this entire porch area, as well as the front porch too. So it's a little bit added design, but it really looks great. It's not your standard random pattern brick.
One thing I meant to ask you, will you be able to put like a TV up here?
Yes.
Do you envision that? Is that what this is? Okay, cool. So have a TV. So this is kind of like the loungy area maybe, or maybe.
It's kind of set up to where you come out your master
Yeah.
and here's your area. And then the rest of your entertainment area is over here.
And you're going to have an outdoor grill, kitchen there, and like I can just vision it.
An outdoor kitchen has the tabby details as well.
Okay. And screened in or no?
It's all screened.
This is all screened in. Do the little no-see-ums get through that screen? No.
The screen we buy is a special screen to keep the no-see-ums out.
And you said there's fans?
There's fans.
Nice.
In there, yes. There's one fan, a very, very large fan, a 72-inch fan there. There's a 60-inch one here.
Gotcha. Well, I am super excited. I know you're a busy guy. I mean, really, like, when we started talking about this a number of months ago, I couldn't be more excited to be a part of this, like working with you and, everybody else who is involved. I know you have great people. I'm excited for you to see us go through it. Again, we're going to be talking about things, whether it's electronics, the electronics guy, the appliance guys, I would love to get to talk to the architect a little bit, this and that, and we're going to really dive into 57 Inverness. If you're looking for a house, if you're thinking about something like this, feel free to call me. All the contact information is going to be in the description below, but hit subscribe. Check us out. We're going to do this. We're going to hopefully do this on a regular basis. We will do this on a regular basis. But until next time, Rick, thank you so much, man.
All right,
really appreciate you.
Candle, all right?
Yeah, let's do it. It's a beautiful house. It looks awesome. I'm super excited.
Great.
All right, thanks. All right, so I know I just explained this at the end of the video, but I just had to really hone in on a couple things. This house is awesome. I am so excited to see this product finished. I mean, I know we talked about windows and screens and all the cool things, but it's going to be a journey. We're just scratching the surface of what this series is going to bring you. On top of that, the location in Colleton River on the lot itself, it's going to be magnificent. I can't wait to see even the landscaping at the end. Getting back to it though, please follow us, subscribe below, Call me with any questions, drop me a message below. Happy to help you out. We're going to have a dedicated website. We're going to have photos. We even have a spec home. Rick announced that we already built this house, or he built this house before. We have priority access into that spec home that somebody's living there who's been generous enough to let us come through with serious buyers and really show the finished product if anybody's interested. Very unique situation, which we don't get very often. So if you're interested, we can get you into a spec home, but give me a call, reach out. I'm always around. My name's Dan Anton. I'm from Christie's International Real Estate right here in Hilton Head and Bluffton, South Carolina. Can't wait to see you next time.